Hello, children. Welcome to Story Time with Miss Nidhi. As I had told you all that I'm going to be back with an exciting story, so here I am. Today I am reading Tales of Her Ponytail. The author of this book is Sheetal Paul and Sonia Mondal. Illustrations of this book is done by Taposhi Ghoshal and it's an Eklavya publication. You know what this story is about whom? It's about Gunia's long hair, which always kept her worried. Not only did it feel hot, but made her sweat a lot too. She could not sleep for long either. She used to reach school very late almost every day, and then she had to invent excuses to tell her teacher. But how could she continue with so many excuses every day? Something had to be done. Do you think could Gunia solve this problem? What did she do to save herself from reaching late to school every day and getting rid of her curly twirly hair? Let's find out. And there you go, look at her. Oh my god, she looks so baffled. Gunya is in so much trouble, looks like. May I come in, ma'am? Came a shrill voice at the door. All 23 pairs of eyes rose to look in that direction. The teacher also gasped aloud when she saw the tiny little disheveled figure. It seemed as if little Gunia had gotten an electric shock. Her hair stood on its ends, or maybe she had picked a fight with some kids in the gully who had yanked her hair out of her plaits. What happened to you, Gunia? Are you all right? Don't you know you are supposed to come all neat and tidy to school? The teacher asked. Oh, I did just that, ma'am. In fact, my mother woke me up before sunrise. She oiled my hair, washed my hair, dried my hair, brushed my hair, and plaited my hair till I was almost late for school. And then, while I was coming to school, a flock of crows attacked me. On hearing this, there was a collective gasp as everyone's jaw dropped. Why would crows attack you, Gunia? Asked her teacher. Oh, maybe because they were jealous of my thick jet black hair, shrugged Gunia. Or maybe they smelled the coconut oil that your mother smears on your hair, commented Tarun, and the entire bunch of kids broke out in a taunting, cruel laughter. The next day, Gunia reached school late again, looking messy. Strands of her hair were flying around. There was more hair out of her two plaits than in them. What happened to your hair today, Gunia? Now don't tell me pigeons attacked you, said her teacher. No, not at all, ma'am. Today I was very careful and wore my father's helmet to protect my hair from the birds. But who knew that there was a storm waiting to pounce on me as soon as I stepped out? The wind almost blew me away. My helmet flew off. I just held on to my father. The wind almost took my hair away with it. I am lucky to reach school safely. But you live just 20 minutes away from the school and it has been a bright, sunny, warm morning, Gunia, said her teacher with a raised brow. Next morning, the alarm went off at 6 a.m. Gunia, wake up or you will be late again for school, yelled her mother. We have to oil your hair. No. We have to wash and dry your hair. No. We have to comb your hair. No, never, yelled Gunia from beneath her cozy blanket. Yes, Gunia, and then I will make 2 lovely long plaits for you. Your father says you look like a princess with your thick, black, neat plaits, said her mother. Who wants to be a princess? Who never gets to sleep enough?
is always late for school, can't scratch her itchy hair, whose plates are pulled by other children, and whose hair oil makes her friends run away from her. I don't want to look like a princess. I hate my hair,
grumbled Gunia.
Today we have a scarecrow costume day, mummy, so I need not do my hair.
Gunia tried to find a way out, but Mummy would not listen to any excuse. And so, like every day, Gunia scratched her head on her way to school. She did not like her hair. It made her feel hot, itchy, and sweaty. It did not let her sleep for as long as she wanted to. More than that, she detested the coconut oil her mother used on her hair every day. So she loosened her plaits and scratched all the way to school, till she looked like a scarecrow, and the other children would think that she had been struck by lightning. But today she was ready again with another story to tell her teacher. So what story do you think Gunia cooked up today? Think, children, think. What story you think she might have cooked up today? Was she able to find an excuse and cook up another story? Gunia was afraid that she might run out of stories someday, and so she had to come up with a permanent plan to deal with her hair problems. How about plastering it up with mehendi? She had seen her mother apply mehendi, and then all her hair stuck together, and it seemed like she had become bald. Or maybe she could try her father's cap. Anything to stop her hair from being tied up so tightly and save her time for more important things like sleeping and playing. Just then, Boka, the tailor's son, came whizzing in yelling, "Chutkyo! Chutkyo!" at the top of his lungs and snapping a pair of dangerous-looking scissors.
Don't call me Chutkia,
Snarled Gunia.
Oh, that's what you are,
said Boka teasingly.
If you don't like being called by this name, why don't you cut off your hair plates till you have them? That's what I will call you. Chutkia, Chutkia.
Gunia's eyes lit up. Yes, she had found the solution to her problem. She asked Boka,
"Why don't you cut them for me? Use your scissors for some good."
Boka just could not believe what he had just heard, but he did not want to lose such an opportunity either. "But Uncle will get angry if he gets to know that I cut your hair," said Boka. Gunia said,
"Don't worry, no one will ever know how my long hair got short."
They rushed to her room, and Boka held one of her plates and lifted the sharp, glistening scissors. And snap it went. With one hard blow, half of Gunia's plate fell to the floor. Gunia had never felt happier before. Just when Boka reached out for the other plate, there was a loud knock on the door. Both their eyes widened with fear because they knew it must be Gunia's mother. Boka fled by the back door, running as fast as his short legs could carry him. The knocking grew louder, and finally Gunia bent and opened the door. Mother's eyes almost popped out when she saw Gunia, who was there standing before her. One plate was cut off while the other was still long. Even before her mother could say a word, Gunia started telling her what had just happened.
"I was feeling very hot and I turned on the table fan, but I was still feeling hot, so I went closer to it. Just then the fan pulled in my plate. I was trying to pull my hair out, but just then you knocked on the door. If I did not open the door, you would get angry, so I cut my hair with the scissors that Boka left here and opened the door."
All mother could do was to stare in disbelief, and then she called her father. "Gunia ke papa!" Father made Gunia wear his helmet and took her to the barber's. Before any of the neighbors found out about her hair, the barber got to work on it. Gunia no longer has to wake up early to get her hair done. She can let the short hair fly carelessly in the wind. No longer do other children tease her or pull her plaits. She can scratch her hair easily, and it no longer makes her feel sweaty or itchy. which means she can enjoy playing with her friends even more. Oh, one more thing. Now her head also doesn't stink for hours because of that coconut oil. So, children, wasn't that a fun story about Gunya? I had a hearty laugh. But you all don't ever do that. If you have concerns about your hair, talk to your parents, explain them that how it makes it difficult for you, and I'm sure your parents will understand and help you out. So stay tuned and take help of your parents to subscribe to my channel so that you can watch all the new stories I share on my channel every week. I will be back again with some more exciting stories for all of you. Thank you so much for watching and listening to today's story. So here I am saying bye bye.